Coming up with ideas is only the first part of a game designer's job. Once you've got an idea, you need to design the rest of your game from that idea. And this might sound hard, but I've broken down this entire process into 3 steps that you can follow to plan out your game. So whether you've got an idea and you're not sure what to do next, or you're just interested in learning more about the game design process, this video is for you. Let's get started. Before we can get into the 3 steps, we need to talk about an essential tool that every game designer should use to plan their game. The game design document. The purpose of this document is to plan out as thoroughly as possible
your entire game.
It'll allow you to remember your ideas and the decisions that you've made, and to communicate them with others. You can write them any way you want, just as long as you are able to achieve that purpose with your document. If you don't know how to program or how to actually create a game, this is where you start. Okay, you know what a game design document is, and you know what it's for, but what do you write in one? That brings us to the first of the 3 steps. Step 1, find the core game loop. This is what people are going to be doing most of the time when they're playing your game. In the book Level Up, which is a great game design book, Scott Rogers says that games should be focused on a primary action. For example, Halo is about shooting, Mario Kart is about driving, and Cut the Rope is about cutting ropes. But you get the point. You should be able to explain what your game is about in 1 to 2 sentences. The first thing you're going to write in your game design document is a short description of your entire game. And what the core game loop is it's what people are going to be doing over and over again as they're playing their game. For example, in a tower defense game that I made, Fruit Defense, the core game loop is playing the level, putting down fruit, and fighting off candy. You do this over and over again throughout the game. And what's really important is that your core game loop sounds like it would be fun to do over and over and over again, because that's what you're asking people to do. If you don't think it sounds fun to do the same action over and over again, then either you need to introduce some more variety, or you need to pick something else to make your game about. Because people will be doing the same action so many times, we need a way to introduce more mechanics into the game and to write down these new mechanics. And that brings us to step 2, which is repeating the loop. We're going to be repeating this core game loop, so we need a way to plan out what we're changing to make it interesting. In your game design document, you're going to write down lists of things like levels, mechanics, objects, and obstacles that you're going to introduce throughout the game to help keep it interesting and to keep adding new things to surprise players and to keep them guessing at what's coming next. You want your game to keep changing, unless you're deliberately making grinding. Let's go back to my example of my tower defense game. Even though in all the levels, you're doing the same core game loop of placing fruit and using them to fight off candy, in the final level, the fruit you're placing and the candy you're fighting off and the strategies you're using are completely different than what you're doing in the first level. So even though it still uses the same primary action and the same core game loop, it's wildly different than the start of the game. You need to plan out how you can do this. What I would recommend you write in your game design document is create a section, call it levels. And here you're going to write out all the levels in your game, probably just start with level 1, and say what new mechanics they introduce and what they add that makes them interesting. The third and final step for planning your game is to fill out the rest of the game. Up until now, we've been focusing on the core game loop, which is the most important part of your game. But it's not the only part of your game. You need to think about the different screens and user interface that you're going to use to connect your game together. When you open up most games, you don't immediately get dropped into the core game loop. You either see a title screen or a main menu or a level select screen or something like that. Think about all these different screens and how they're going to make it easier for players to play your game. Because that's the goal. Make it as easy as possible for people to get into the core game loop and have fun. That's what we're doing in this step. Another thing that you can do is try and add a little bit more replayability into your game. Create things like achievements and collectible items. It's really helpful to have these things because they don't really take too much work to create, and they can incentivize players to do the same thing, to replay the same content for new reasons. There are 3 steps for planning out your game. Step 1 is to find the core game loop. This is what people are going to be doing over and over again as they play your game. Write this down in your game design document and make sure it sounds fun, because people are going to be doing it a lot. Step 2 is repeat this core game loop. Find new interesting things to add that will create variety so that the players can have new strategies and new things that they'll need to do throughout the game. Even though you're still using the same core game loop, you can still create new and interesting challenges. And finally, step 3, fill out the rest of the game. Do things like create achievements and collectibles, and plan the different screens the players are going to have to navigate through as they play your game. Once you've written all these things out in your game design document, and written out basically anything else that you can think of that might be useful to know, congratulations, you've planned out your entire game. But you're still not done. Game design is an iterative process. Even though you've planned out the entire thing, as you play and prototype your game, you don't know what kinds of things you're going to have to change. That's what we're going to be talking about in my next video. And if you haven't, check out my previous video in this series on how to come up with game ideas. You'll find it really helpful if you're struggling to know what to do when designing your games. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.